ਦਾਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ, ਕਹਿਣਾ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ, ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਤੁਧ ਬਿਨ ਰੋਗ ਰਜਾਈਆਂ ਦਾ ਓਡਨ, ਤੁਧ ਬਿਨ ਰੋਗ ਰਜਾਈਆਂ ਦਾ ਓਡਨ, ਨਾਗ ਨਿਵਾਸਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਨਾਗ ਨਿਵਾਸਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ। ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ, ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ, ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਸੂਲ ਸੁਰਾਹੀ ਖੰਜਰ ਪਿਆਲਾ, ਸੂਰ ਸੁਰਾਹੀ ਖੰਜਰ ਪਿਆਲਾ, ਬੇਂਗ ਕਸਾਈਆਂ ਦਾ ਸਹਿਣਾ, ਬੇਂਗ ਕਸਾਈਆਂ ਦਾ ਸਹਿਣਾ। ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ, ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ, ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਯਾਰੜੇ ਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਥਰ ਚੰਗਾ, ਯਾਰੜੇ ਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਥਰ ਚੰਗਾ, ਭਾਠ ਖੇੜਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਭਾਠ ਖੇੜਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਰਹਿਣਾ। ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ, ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ, ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ, ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ, ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। It was a night of 1704. A young woman is looking into a flame. As we look into the campfire tonight, this same fire a young woman was looking into. Her eyes mesmerized by the stories of her brothers that lay in the fire. Her heart overwhelmed, unable to bear the pain to see her brothers who sacrificed everything for their Guru. This lady, this woman, this Singhani, her name was Mata Sharan Kaur. She's 16 years old. It is the next night after the Battle of Chumkaur. It is 8th Poh, 1704. Just a few days ago, on this very same night like today, she looked into this fire. All her brothers that became shaheed in the Chumkaur di Gadi, she gathered them up. She gathered their bodies and put them to flames. In a moment's notice, she hears something behind her. She looks out and she sees a few Mughals. They spot the fire. They come near her. Bibi ji takes her hand, puts it on her mutta of the kirpan. She takes her kirpan out and she's ready to fight. Our story starts in the Anandpur Sahib Killa. We will lead our way back into this fire that BBG was looking into. 8 months the Singhs, the Sikh Sangat stayed in Anandpur Sahib. The first few months when the Kira happened, when the fortress was surrounded by the enemies, the Pahadi Raje and the Turks of Aurangzeb sent from Delhi. The government had enough of Guru Sahib. For much long they couldn't bear and they were bardash nahi hunda si Guru Sahib, how is their shan more than ours? How is Guru Sahib's darbar more beautiful than the darbar of Aurangzeb? Aurangzeb had many Pahadi Raje attack Guru Sahib. Many jungs have happened. And it all leads up to this Anandpur Sahib Killa being surrounded. The enemies had enough. They tried their best to remove Guru Sahib from Anandpur Sahib Killa. This isn't the first battle that took place in Anandpur Sahib. There's been many before. But every time they lose. Every time the enemies couldn't beat them. Aurangzeb said, you can't even get a fakir. You are so many Raja, you have so much Shaktiyan, you have so much armies, you can't even get a fakir. This is a guru, this is a spiritual king. What does he know about war? How are you still losing to a king? How are you still losing to a guru? After many threats and after many tamkiyan by Aurangzeb, the Pahadi Raja said, let's surround Anandpur Sahib Killa. Let's surround it. Let's cut off the food supply. Let's cut off the water supply. The waters leading into the Nadiyan leading into the Anandpur Sahib Killa was cut off. The food supply leading into Anandpur Sahib Killa was cut off. For 2-3 months, supply they had of food. After the first 2 months, the 700 plus Sikh Sangat living in Anandpur Sahib was surviving on 1 prashada per day. Slowly became 1 prashada per 2 days. Slowly became 1 prashada per week. Little kids. Remember, it was not just Surme living in Anandpur Sahib. It was not just warriors living in Anandpur Sahib. It was normal people like me and you. Because Sikh Sangat vich sare aa jande hai. You have the Surme, you have the Vidwans, you have the normal person. You have the Bhagat, you have the Gyani, and you have the warrior. Har ek jana Guru Sahib de darbar vich aanda. Everyone looks beautiful in the Guru Sahib's darbar. When we go into the Gurdwara, we see all types of people. We see people who are dressed in all white, who are in live with Guru Sahib's Gurbani, who are doing Bhakti, who are full about Naam Ras Pyar. We see people who might be Gristis, who work hard, who go to their jobs, they take care of their families. They're sitting in Guru Sahib's darbar too. And you will see Surme as well. 10 foot Kirpana. You will see them with their Shastras. You will see their Damalle. Guru Sahib's Sikhi is Bayant. It's not limited to just one type of path. In that same way, in Anandpur Sahib, there was everyone living. Like in this campsite, we're all living together. We all come from different walks of life. Pyareo, this flame might go out. But the flame of Guru Sahib's Pyar, the flame of Guru Sahib's legacy will never leave this world. Naam rahyo, sadhu rahyo, rahyo Gur Gobind. In this world, only three things will stay. Parmeshwar Ji's Naam, Parmeshwar Ji's Bani. Parmeshwar Ji's Sant, their sadhu, their legacy stays forever. We're still talking about the stories from 300 years ago. We'll still talk about the stories 1,000 years later, I guarantee it. Rahyo Gur Gobind. The Guru Paramatma, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਰਹੇਗੇ, ਜੁਗੋ ਜੁਗ ਅਟਲ। ਪਿਆਰਿਓ, ਅਨੰਦਪੁਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਕਿਲਾ। Let's take our surtiyan, let's take our attention back into the dharti of Anandpur Sahib. One prashada per week, normal people were eating. Kids, older, younger. Slowly it became prashada per 2 weeks. Slowly it became a glass of water every 3 days. Slowly it became nothing. People started dying of hunger in Anandpur Sahib. Singhs started dying. Ghode started dying. Elephants started dying. Guru Sahib had a prashadi hathi. Prashadi hathi was such a trained animal. It was a trained elephant that would do chore Sahib over Guru Sahib. When Guru Sahib needed food, the hathi was able to pick up a tray of food and give it to Guru Sahib. The prashadi hathi died in front of Guru Sahib's own eyes. One by one, children were dying. One by one, Guru Sahib's army, their Sana, their Singhs were dying because of hunger. Eventually, 4 months into the Kera, the Sikh Sangat, the Khalsa Surme, they did a request to Guru Sahib. They said, Malik Ji, you know what's best for us, but at this time, we would like to suggest, let's leave the Kila of Anandpur Sahib. This hunger is unbearable. Guru Sahib said, Singho, we must wait. It is not time yet for us to leave the Kila. The Sikh Sangat said, Satbachan Maharaj. Weeks go by. 3 months turn to 4 months. 4 months turn to 5 months. 5 months turn to 6 months. Food supply is becoming scarce. Almost none. The Sikh Sangat again do request. They talk to Mata Gujri Ji. At this same time this is happening, the Pahadi Raje are sending their vakils. The Pahadi Raje were mostly Hindus. So then sent their vakils, their lawyers. The Turks will send their vakils, their Qadiyan. Aurangzeb's army will come with the Quran. The Pahadi Raja's vakils, they will come with their Gita. They'll come in front of Maharaj. They'll put their hand on their Imam. They'll put their hand on their Taram, on their grunts, and they will say, Maharaj, we promise you, if you leave this Kila, we won't touch a single person. We promise you, Maharaj, if you were to walk out of these doors today, you will be happily able to return. We just need to prove to Aurangzeb that we are able to make you leave. Just leave once and you can come back whenever you want. Leave once and you will come back anytime you want, Maharaj. The Singhs, they were very pole. Kyunki the more bhakti we do, the more bandagi we do, our heart gets more and more softer. The Singhs so pole, they say, Maharaj, ye sach keh rahe hai. Apne dharam de utte song khande pe hai, kasam khande pe, Maharaj. They won't touch you, they won't touch us. Look, they're swearing. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj ne pehle jame vich kehta, Kal kati raje kasai, Taram pankh kar ud raya, Kood amavas, Sach chandrama disse nahi keh chadya. Maharaj Sande, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj said in the first Jama, Taram pankh kar ud raya. Is sansar vich hun taram di gal koi rahi nahi hui. Taram has sprouted wings and flew out to this world. If there was Taram, then Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj had not need to come to this earth. कल मल होई मेदनी अरदास करी लवलाए, कल मल होई मेदनी धरती द मेदनी दे अरदास, कल मल होई मेदनी अरदास करी लवलाए, द धरती दे अरदास ए पुकार ए अर्ज कि हे परमात्मा मेरे उत्ते हुण कल मल बहुत वध गए। कलमा में पाप का नाम है, पापां दा भार बहुत वध गया महाराज, तुसी किरपा करो हे निरंकार स्वरूप परमात्मा, तू तरस ऑन मी। क्योंकि धरती एक माता है, धरती एक होंद है, धरती इज अ बीइंग इटसेल्फ, planet earth we say, mother earth we say, why? फिर ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਾਨ ਹੈ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਧਰਤੀ ਦਾ ਭਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਾ, it doesn't feel the power of the oceans, it doesn't feel the power of the world, it feels the power of paps। ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਰੂਹ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਕੋਈ ਸੰਤ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖ ਇਸ ਧਰਤੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਆਂਦਾ, ਕੋਈ ਅਵਤਾਰ ਧਾਰਦਾ, ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਭਾਰ ਘਟ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਾਪਾਂ ਦਾ ਭਾਰ ਘਟ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ। ਕਿਉਂ? ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਸ਼ਕਾਲ, ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ? The vibrations of the ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ, the flow of the ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ, it spreads such an aroma that not only our souls benefit from it, but the ਧਰਤੀ itself cries out in happiness that ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਸੁੱਖ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ। ਕਲ ਮਲ ਹੋਈ ਮੇਦਨੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰੀ ਲੈ ਬੁਲਾਏ, ਧਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਹੈ, ਹੇ ਨਿਰਕਾਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਆ ਜਾਓ, help me। ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ looked and saw that there's nothing else for me to do now, ਕਲਯੁਗ ਦਾ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਇੰਨਾ ਵੱਧ ਗਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ, I have to come down myself। ਕਲਯੁਗ ਪਰਮਾਨ ਨਾਨਕ ਗੁਰ ਅੰਗਦ ਅਮਰ ਕਹਾਇਓ, ਇਨ ਕਲਯੁਗ ਹੁਣ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਰੂਪ, ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਰੂਪ ਆ ਗਏ। ਇੱਕ ਹੀ ਜੋਤ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਜੋਤ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜਿਸ ਨੇ ਕਹਿਤਾ ਸੀ ਕਲ ਕਾਤੀ ਰਾਜੇ ਕਸਾਈ, ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਦੇ ਲੋਕੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਰਾਜਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਸ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਨਾ ਰੱਖੋ। ਰਾਜੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਦੇ ਸਮਾਨ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ। People looked at ਰਾਜੇ as political leaders as their father, as their mother, ਇਹ ਸਾਡਾ ਭਲਾ ਕਰੇਗੇ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਰਾਜੇ ਕਸਾਈ, ਇੱਕ ਕਸਾਈ ਬਣ ਗਏ ਹੋਏ ਆ। ਕਲ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਇੱਕ ਤਲਵਾਰ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਹੋਈ, ਕਲ ਕਾਤੀ ਰਾਜੇ ਕਸਾਈ, ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਆਏਗੀ। ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਾਜੇ, these ਰਾਜੇ that were sworn to protect the people of the world, they will now kill you, they will now come after you। Dharam has burnt away from this world। ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆਪ ਨਾਰਾਇਣ ਕਲਾ ਤਾਰ, ਇਸ ਜਗ ਮਹਿ ਪਰਵਰਿਓ। ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਆਪ ਨਾਰਾਇਣ ਕਲਾ ਤਾਰ ਕੇ, ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਤਾਰ ਕੇ ਇਸ ਸਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ, ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਸਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਗਏ। ਉਹੀ ਹੁਣ ਸਰੂਪ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਅਨੰਦਪੁਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਿਰਾਜੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ। ਅੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਿੰਘੋ, ਇਹ ਝੂਠ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਭਰੋਸੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਆਵੋ। Don't come into their belief, they're lying to you। They said Satpachin Maharaj। Weeks go by, again lawyers come, different ways। Now they bring एक goldi murti made out of atta। The Pahadi Rajas sent their vakils, now they said let's bring our most pyar that we have। India ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਗਊ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਚੀ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗਊ ਗਰੀਬ, ਗਊਆਂ ਦੀ ਰਕਸ਼ਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਆ। ਤੇ ਉਹ ਉਸ ਰੂਪ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਗਏ। ਤੇ ਤੁਰਕਾ ਕੋਈ ਘੱਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ। Turka, they now thought, why not we do this? Why not we bring our chins, our dharmic chins, and bring it in front of Maharaj as well? अब फिर सौ खांदे हैं, साडा की जांदा? They again bring their own articles of faith, and they say, Maharaj, we request you again once more, please leave this Anandpur Sahib the Kila। Months become 7 months. The Singhs are restless. They no longer can wait anymore. They say, Maharaj, even if they're lying to us, we're happy to leave। Maharaj said, I'll show you they're lying। Guru Sahib gets some trolleys together, some carts together। They said, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਹੀ ਗੰਦ ਪਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਨੰਦਪੁਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਕਿਲੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਹੀ ਗੰਦ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਘੋੜੇ ਮਰ ਗਏ ਹੋਏ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੱਡੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਘੋੜਿਆਂ ਦੀ, ਹਾਥੀਆਂ ਦੀ, fill the carts up with these bones and this dirt and stones, but cover them with reshmi kapde, cover them with very beautiful clothes. ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਰੁਮਾਲੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰੁਮਾਲੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉੱਤੇ ਚੜਾਤੇ, ਟਰਾਲੀਆਂ ਭਰ ਕੇ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਮਾਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਹੱਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਗੰਦ ਘਰ, ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੰਦ ਮਿਲਿਆ, ਉਸ they filled up the ਟਰਾਲੀਆਂ with those things, different ਟਰਾਲੀਆਂ, and they covered it with reshmi ਕੱਪੜੇ, with ਰੁਮਾਲੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ. Guru Sahib said, ठीक है, let's tell them we're leaving. Guru Sahib makes an announcement. They say, hey pahadi raje, hey Turk fauj, ਆਪਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਚੱਲੇ ਹਾਂ, we're about to leave. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਆ, ਗੁਰੂ ਮੰਨ ਗਿਆ, ਸਾਡੀ ਹੁਣ ਨੌਕਰੀ ਬਚੇਗੀ. ਕਿਉਂ ਨੌਕਰੀ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਸੀ? They're working, they're employed for the Emperor of the India, which is Aurangzeb. They're just worried about their job. They said, ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਹੈ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਚੱਲੇ ਹੋ, ਚਲੋ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ. Guru said, it's just one condition. I'm going to take out my Keemta Khajana first. All my Khajana, I'm going to take that out of Anandpur Sahib first. They said, ठीक है Maharaj, that's great. We won't do anything, we'll let your stuff go. Guru Sahib had the different trolleys that got set up. They put candles or flames on each corner of the trolleys. The trolleys were then taken out one by one out of the Anandpur Sahib Killa, coming down the hills. When the enemy saw the lights of the Ramali Sahib sparkle, lob utھ gaya. Hey, there was lob hi si. They only had lob, they only had jealousy, they only had greed in their hearts for Guru Sahib. When the carts come out, the greed sparked. Lob awaja nikal gaya baro, lob diyan. They say, inna keemti khajana bahar aa raha, what are we sitting here for? Let's go grab it. The generals, the different heads of the armies, they ran for the carts. Everyone ran for the carts. They ran, they stopped the carts. Whatever bag, because Guru Sahib ne bag pade si, with different cup pade, of just normal garbage. They picked up the bags and took it to their house. Our history writes that when the bags were taken, they took it into their own tents, because there were tents set up outside of the armies. Everyone but took out their stuff, and where did they hide the stuff? They hid it underneath their religious shrines. So in their tents, someone had maybe a murti set up where they would pray to every day. They hid it behind there. Someone had a certain area where they read the Quran. They will hide it underneath there. Imam based on it. Dharam based on it. Dharam di koi lakeer nahi rahi in lokan vich. The next morning, Guru Sahib showed the things. Dekho Singho, बस इदा ही उन्होंने साढ़े उत्ते हमला करना, तुसी विश्वास ना करो. हफ्ता 2 हफ्ते निकले, 8 months is now, and this Singh said, Maharaj, हम साढ़े को बर्दाश्त नहीं होया, ये जरा पेट आ, ये उन्होंने सानू सोन नहीं दे दिया, नींद नहीं आ रही, we can't sleep, we can't do anything, we don't have the energy. Our history writes that Singh's cities became like pinjare. They became like skeletons because they were so hungry. Bibiyan, Matawa, they were dying left and right. This was the state. They said, Maharaj, hun sanu jaan do. Guru Sahib ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਿੰਘੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੁਕ ਜਾਏਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੀ ਪੱਲਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਰਾਜ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਹੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਵੇਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਵੀ can't, ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੰਤਜ਼ਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹ ਘੜੀ ਦਾ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਿਕਾਲੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ. ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਮੰਨ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ, ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਰਾਤ ਆਪਾਂ ਚੱਲ ਹੀ ਪਾਏਂਗੇ. December 1704 the year was. Shepo. ਤਿਆਰੀਆਂ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ. Guru Sahib leaves the darbar. We talked about in the Ithaas yesterday that Guru Sahib first, before leaving Anandpur Sahib Killa, they take the whole Vahid, they take all the Sikh Sangat and they take it to Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj's Gurdwara, Sheesh Khan Sahib in Anandpur Sahib. Maharaj goes, they do Ardas, they say, Father, Pitaji, we're leaving the Tarti that we called home. We're leaving that Tarti where Bhavanja Kaviyan came and did so much kala, they did so much work. We're leaving that Tarti where the Sahibzada used to play in. We're leaving that Tarti that's filled with your love, Maharaj. आप सहायता करो, आप कृपा करो गुरु तेग बहादुर जी महाराज। ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਗੁਰਬਖਸ਼ ਸਾਧੂ ਜੋ ਉਦਾਸੀ ਮਹਾਂਪੁਰਖ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ they put that Gurdwara underneath ਗੁਰਬਖਸ਼ ਸਾਧੂ who were then going to do the seva of that Guru Kar every day. We talked about in the Ithaas Katha that people said to Guru Sahib Maharaj, how will this person live behind everyone? Everyone's going to leave, he's the only person left in Anandpur Sahib. The Turks will not leave him. Guru Sahib said, no one will be able to lay a hand on this person. He will get the darshan of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji every single day. Giving these blessings, Guru Sahib then left Anandpur Sahib. It was the middle of the night, it was midnight. Guru Sahib's on the way leaving the Anandpur Sahib Killa. The armies, they did not know. वो सुते रह गए बेचारे. परमात्मा दी कोई लीला हुई है that they were not able to see that Guru Sahib was leaving with all their Sikh Sangat. Our history writes at that time there are about 700 people in total in Guru Sahib's Vahir. Guru Sahib, surrounded by their pyare Bhai Daya Singh Ji, Bhai Taram Singh Ji, surrounded by Surme like Baba Ajit Singh Ji Maharaj, who was 16, 17 years old at that time. When the Vahir gets near to the Sarsa Nadi, pichon awaja aandi. Baba Ajit Singh turns around and they see flashes going out in the back. They see the fight has started. The Turks have caught up. Guru Sahib said, what's going on? Baba Ajit Singh said, Maharaj, mainu lag raha hai ki piche jang shuru ho gayi hai. Guru Sahib said, who's in the back? Who do we have in the back? Which one are our commanders? Which one are our commando force do we have in the back? They said, Bhai Uday Singh Ji. Bhai Uday Singh Ji was the eldest son of Bhai Mani Singh Ji Shaheed. Bhai Mani Singh Ji Shaheed di ji parivar si, oh shaheedan di parivar hai. 12 ਭਰਾ ਸੀ ਭਾਈ ਮਨੀ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੇ, 11 ਸ਼ਹੀਦ, 2 ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਬਾਕੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ. Baba Bachitra Singh Ji, who was also the brother of Bhai Mani Singh Ji, becomes shaheed later on. Bhai Uday Singh Ji, the oldest brother of Bhai Mani Singh Ji. Guru Sahib said, who's in the back? Baba Ajit Singh said, Bhai Uday Singh Ji, our commander force. Maharaj said, Ja Ajit Singh, go Baba Ji, go and help Bhai Uday Singh Ji. Maharaj did not have the moh for their eldest son. Maharaj did not have the moh that inne hun gaddi sambhalni hai. Guru Sahib had already planned in their mind that the gaddi of Guru Nanak Dev Ji will go to the Khalsa Panth. Baba Ajit Singh Ji goes and fights with Bhai Uday Singh Ji for 5 hours, they say. They killed thousands and thousands of Mughal forces. At that time, Guru Sahib crosses the Sarsa Nadi. It's now Amrit Vela. Amrit Vela da Sama. Guru Sahib looks at Bhai Daya Singh Ji and they say, Bhai Daya Singh Ji, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਸ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੈ. ਦੱਸੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣੀ ਜਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਂਦਾ. I'll get you water right now. They say, ਨਹੀਂ ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਘਾ, ਉਹ ਪਿਆਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਲੱਗੀ. ਪਿੰਨੀ ਰੈਣੜੀਏ, ਪਿੰਨੀ ਰੈਣੜੀਏ, ਚਮਕਨ ਤਾਰੇ, ਜਾਗੇ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਰਾਮ ਪਿਆਰੇ. ਪਿੰਨੀ ਰੈਣੜੀਏ, ਪਿੰਨੀ ਰੈਣੜੀਏ, ਚਮਕਨ ਤਾਰੇ, ਜਾਗੇ ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਰਾਮ ਪਿਆਰੇ. ਤਾਰੇ ਚਮਕ ਰਹੇ ਆ. It's a beautiful night of Amrit Vela. पूर्ण होए हमारी आशा, तोर भजन की रह प्यासा. पूर्ण होए हमारी आशा, मेरी आस गुरु साहब जी परमात्मा जी पूरी रखो. परमात्मा फिर कहता कि तुहाडी आस की है? तोर भजन, तेरा भजन वास्ते रह प्यासा. मैं हमेशा प्यासा रहां तुहाडे भजन वास्ते. प्यास, प्यास एक ऐसी चीज़ है जिस तो बिना पति ते पत्नी दा रिश्ता फिक्का पै जांदा, जिस तो बिना बच्चे ते माता पिता दे रिश्ता फिक्का पै जांदा. जे रिश्ता विच प्यास नहीं एक दूजे वास्ते, फिर रिश्ता फिक्का पै जांदा. जे परमात्मा वाली प्यास नहीं है फिर साध संगत जी पाठ करना सिमरन करना उन्ना फल नहीं दिंदी। प्यास एक प्यास ऐसी चीज़ है जिस नाल लिव जुड़ जाती है। गुरु साहब turns around to भाई दया सिंह जी, मैनू प्यास लगी है। द प्यास of अमृत वेला, द प्यास of हरि परमात्मा दा भजन। आओ भाई दया सिंह जी साज निकालो, अपन आसा दी वार दा कीर्तन करिए। भाई दया सिंह जी looks at महाराज and they say, महाराज पीछे जंग हो रही है, how will we be able to do आसा दी वार दा कीर्तन here on the battlefield? महाराज says to भाई दया सिंह जी, जे आप इस वेले अपने नितनेम नहीं संभाल सकते, कल नूं मेरी सिख संगत कहेगी कि महाराज आप अज बिजी सी, साडे कोल नितनेम होया नहीं। महाराज आप ठंडे सी, साडे कोल नितनेम होया नहीं। महाराज साडे कोल अज भजन नहीं होया। गुरु साहब ने सानू संत बनाया, but they also made us into soldiers as well. A soldier trains their body to fight all odds. That no matter what happens, my relationship with my guru, let it not suffer even an inch of difference. Bhai Daya Singh Ji gets the sajas out. Guru Sahib sits down and they start singing the beautiful words of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. हर अमृत भिन्ने लोए ना, मन प्रेम रतन ना राम राजे। अखां लोए ना, हर अमृत भिन्ने लोए ना। My eyes are filled up with the amrit tears for Guru Sahib, that birag. हर अमृत भिन्ने लोए ना, मन प्रेम रतन ना राम राजे। My mind has been filled with striked with love for you, Maharaj. हिरदे कलेजे माहे, गुरु नानक देव जी महाराज in their Bani. पोला वैद के जाने. What does that pola? When Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj in their Bal Avastha, एक समय ऐसा आया where they became so lean in their bhajan, their Paramatma di Leela, कि वो बोलना बंद करता उन्होंने. For a month or two they didn't talk. Baba Kalyan Chand Ji got worried. So my son is not talking, let me send my doctor. Let me send a Hakim, let me send a Vad. When the Vad came, Vad Balaya Vad ki. When the Vad came, he checked Maharaj, he looked at Maharaj, he said, Sri ta theek hai. Guru Sahib said that no, the pain isn't in the body. Kar khalije mahe, is in the heart. Man prem ratanna ram raje. My heart is filled with the prem of Paramatma. Guru Sahib sings the beautiful Bani of Asa ki Var in the Amrit Vela. Sad Sangat Ji, the stories of Anandpur Sahib da Kera to Leaving Saka Chumkaur Di Gadi is immense. We're not be able to cover it in one night. The Chote Sahibzade Parvar Vishoda ho janda. The Chote Sahibzade are going one way with Mata Gujri Ji. One side you have Bhai Mani Singh Ji Shaheed, who is heading towards Delhi with Mata Salakhni Ji and Mata Sahib Dewan Ji. And the other side you have what's left of the Sikh Sangat after the crossing the Sarsa Nadi. The Sarsa Nadi till today has the Khajana of the Khalsa Panth. Many Khajane became Gupt in the Sarsa Nadi. Many cities were swept away. What was left? About 40 Singhs. About 35 well Singhs. 2-3 injured were left. Those Singhs, including Guru Sahib, then made it to Chumkaur Di Gadi. Chumkaur Di Gadi was not a fortress. It was normal house, maybe a chubara, a 2-story house. When Guru Sahib got there, they said, Bhai Daya Singh, that looks like a good house for us to take kavja of. That looks like a good house to make our base. Let's find out who owns it. Let's see if they can give it to us. The owner comes out and said, Maharaj, ek ghar tuada, everything is yours. Tusi rakh lo. Guru Sahib then makes their base. It is 7th Poh, the night of 7th Poh. The last evening before the battle of Chumkaur. Guru Sahib looks at the Singhs. They say, Singho, hun tusi so jo. Aram kar lo tusi. The Singhs who have not slept for weeks, who have not eaten for months, wo neend vich vas ho gaye. Right then and then, just take it to jagah mili, they just fell down and fell asleep. Guru Sahib then walks around the bodies of the Singhs. Someone is laying here, someone is laying there. Kisari case ki lat ki, kisari damala the hoya. Someone's case are in the open. Everyone's holding their city cells in their hands. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj walks around, picks up the different Singhs, puts them on their legs, their heads, takes their dastar off and starts redoing their dastar, does their kange, does they redo their dastars. They go to one Singh by one Singh by one Singh. O Sahib, main uska chehra. Guru Sahib says to the Khalsa, hey Khalsa ji, if you come into this path, if you come into my heart, you will be my master. Khalsa mera Satguru pura. Khalsa ji, tusi mere Guru ho. Guru Sahib has that much respect for the Khalsa. They have that much satkar for the Khalsa. Guru Sahib walks by each person. Then eventually they go, they sit down. They close their eyes. And they do bhajana Paramatma. That Guru, who tomorrow will lose everything. That Guru, tomorrow, their sons will become shaheed. Their two eldest sons, Baba Ajit Singh Ji, Baba Jujar Singh Ji. That Guru is sitting there and say, Hey Khuda, Hey Paramatma, Hey Allah, main khush haan teri raja mein. There's a historian by the name of Allah Yar Khan Yogi. He says he sees the whole drisht happening. He sees Maharaj go through every Singh and he sees Maharaj close his eyes. What is Maharaj saying? They say, Hey Khuda, hai khush teri yaad mein, hai khush tere paane vich, hai tu hi, hai tu hi, hai tu hi. Ek tu hi hai. The morning of 8th Poh comes. Today the fight of Chumkaur battle will begin. They say over 1 million soldiers have come. Aurangzeb had employed many different armies. People from Africa, people from Afghanistan, people from Kabul, people from every single corner of the Middle East were coming. Aurangzeb was employing different people to come and attack the Guru. Pyareo, the Guru is not a normal person. Nowadays people say Guru Nanak Dev Ji was just a normal man. He combined Hinduism and Islam and made Sikhi. No. Khalsa Paramatma ki moj, Khalsa Paramatma ki foj, Pragate ho Khalsa Paramatma ki moj. ਇਹ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਹੋਇਆ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦੀ ਮੋਜ ਨਾਲ। ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਹੈ ਧੁਰ ਕੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਆਈ, ਇਹ ਧੁਰੋਂ ਆਈ ਹੈ। जैसे मैं आवे खसम की बानी, मैं ना कहे हो सब तोहे बखाने हो। गुरु नानक देव जी महाराज ते गुरु गोबिंद सिंह महाराज इक्को ही गल की कि आपा नहीं कह रहे, सब तो ही बखानियां तू ही बखान करदा मैं परमात्मा। गुरु नानक देव जी महाराज परमेश्वर दा स्वरूप। गुरु नानक देव जी महाराज परमेश्वर ही हन। There is no difference by saying Dhan Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Parmeshwar Ji. Guru Arjan Pratakh Har. Guru Arjan Ji Pratakh Har hai. Aap Narayan Kalatar is Jag Meh Parvariyo. It is now the morning of 8th pole. Guru Sahib sends out batches of Singhs to fight. Batches go out 5 at a time. Sometimes 2 Singhs go out of the killa. Singhs go out one by one and they fight the enemies. Holi holi karde karde 10-15 Singh reh gaye. Baba Ajit Singh Ji looks at their pita Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. They say, Maharaj, hun sanu vi hukam karo. Let me go out as well. Let me complete the dharma of a Kshatri. Guru Sahib says, हाँ Shri Baba Ajit Singh Ji, hun tusi jao. Guru Sahib takes the talwar from their Kamar Kasa and give it to Baba Ajit Singh Ji. Guru Sahib dresses up their son. The father dresses up their son for marriage. Guru Sahib dresses up their son as if they're ever going to get married, because they know today my son will marry that. Baba Ajit Singh Ji leaves the killa. He has a group of 5 Singhs with him. Baba Ajit Singh goes like lightning through the forges, one by one killing whoever they see. First they're on their horse. Eventually the horse is killed. They jump off the horse. They take their talwar out and they start fighting. After cutting up so many enemies, their talwar breaks. Then they take out their katar, a hand knife, a punch dagger. They start using that. Eventually that breaks as well. Babaji is left now with a barsha. They find a barsha. They go through one by one using the barsha. The barsha breaks as well. Babaji is now armless. They have no more weapons. The forge sees they have no more weapons. The forge backs away and they take their arrows and they start shooting at Babaji, knowing that they cannot defend themselves. Babaji gets shot with the arrows. They look up at the killa. They look at Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, where Kalgi is shining in the 2nd floor. They look at Maharaj, and with tears in their eyes, they say, Maharaj, I want to show you this blood on my chest. I want to show you that every single drop of this blood is for you, is for the Khalsa. Saad Sangat Ji, har ek khoon da boond ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ. Every single drop of blood has each one of your names on it. Today the home of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Gobind Singh Ji is still open. The door to Guru Sahib's heart is still open. The names of that blood, each blood drop is still calling our name today. The Sahibzade are still calling us today. Ke aao, mere veero, mere bhano, join us. Become our family. We look at Amrit as if it's something unbelievable, if it's something not for us. Oh Sad Sangat Ji. Amrit is that invitation by the Sahibzade. Amrit is that embrace to the Sahibzade. Amrit is the heart of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. By drinking Amrit, we become one with Guru Sahib. By drinking Amrit, Guru Sahib puts a stamp on our heads and says, Tu mera hun, you are now mine. Nothing in this world and outside of this world can touch you now. When we leave this world, we don't have to answer to anyone besides our Guru. Baba Ajit Singh Ji looks at Maharaj with her chest wide open with arrows. Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj releases a jakara. Then the next batch of Singhs go, the next batch and the next batch. Eventually, Guru Sahib and a few Singhs left, 6, 7. The Singhs do benti. They come together and they say, Maharaj, hun tusi chal jo. We want you to get out of this fortress. Why? Because Maharaj, we cannot make another Guru Gobind Singh Ji. But you can make another one of us. Maharaj, ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ. If we were to become Shaheeders, fine. You'll make more of us. You'll make more Bhai Daya Singh Jis. But Maharaj, if we lose you, we cannot make a single Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Guru Sahib said, "Theek hai Khalsa Ji, I will leave." Before leaving, Guru Sahib gives their kalgi to Bhai Sangat Singh Ji, a Singh who was in the fortress. Giving their kalgi to them, they give their clothes to Bhai Sangat Singh Ji. Bhai Sangat Ji looked like Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Guru Sahib then does the parikrama of the Khalsa. Apan po Sri Khalsa hai sompa dutiya roop Satguru Grantha. Guru Sahib said, I will give my own sareer to you, Khalsa Ji. Mera pehla swaroop tusi ho. Dutiya roop Satguru Grantha. Mera duja roop Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj hai. Guru Sahib does parikrama of the Khalsa. They do namaskar to the Khalsa. And they say, Khalsa Ji, hun tusi Guru ho. Guru Panth te Guru Granth. Guru Sahib then leaves with Bhai Daya Singh Ji, Bhai Taram Singh Ji, and Bhai Man Singh Ji. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj and the three Singhs leave the Kila. When Guru Sahib is leaving, they clap their hands. They say, Hind da Peer Vad. Ke Hindu da Peer hun ja reha. Ki hun tur ke mandir ke Maharaj Hindua da Peer hai, Hindustan da Peer hai. Ke hun ਆਪਾਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੇ ਫੜ ਸਕਦੇ ਫੜ ਲਓ. As Maharaj leaves, ਕੋਈ ਐਸਾ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਮਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ ਕਿ everyone were startled. They said, what's going on? ਹਨੇਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਦਿਸਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ. ਹਨੇਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਨ ਲੱਪੇ. ਭਾਈਆ ਮਾਰਨ ਭਾਈ ਦੁਰਗਾ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਨ ਲੱਪੇ. They didn't know where is Guru Sahib. And that madness, Guru Sahib leaves Bhai Daya Singh Ji one direction, Bhai Taram Singh Ji one direction, Bhai Man Singh Ji one direction. They kept the North Star as their objective, that we'll all meet up at daybreak. Wherever that North Star finishes, that's where we'll all meet up together. They all left. Guru Sahib then continues to Mashiwala jungle, becomes Uchta Peer, and those Sakhiyan continue. The next night, that BBG we started the story with, that BBG we started Sakhi with, gathers all the Sareeds. They find Baba Ji Singh Ji Sareed, they find Baba Jujhar Singh Ji Sareed, they find all the Sareeds they could find and they put them together and they lighted up a flame. Sad Sangat, this flame will die, but that flame is still burning today. That flame that Baba BBG started is still going on in every single heart here. When we first started this camp, the first hukanama that came was, O ki kadi na dekhan dein, apna bird smali. Ki Paramatma apne birda nu, apne sevaka nu, apne bachyan nu sambhalda hai. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਔਖੀ ਘੜੀ ਦਿਸਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. Such hard pains they went through, but for them it was not pains. BBG took her talwar out. When she saw the enemies were coming closer, she fought to her last breath. They tried to put that flame out, and they did. They put that physical flame out, but they're not able to take the flame that's still going on today. Mitre pyare nu हाल मरी दादा कहना मित्र प्यारे नो हाल मरी दादा ਦਾਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਤੁਧ ਬਿਨ ਰੋਗ ਰਜਾਈਆਂ ਦਾ ਓਡਨ, ਤੁਧ ਬਿਨ ਰੋਗ ਰਜਾਈਆਂ ਦਾ ਓਡਨ। ਨਾਗ ਨਿਵਾਸਾ ਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਨਾਗ ਨਿਵਾਸਾ ਦੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ। ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਮਿੱਤਰ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਲ ਮੁਰੀਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ। ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ laying in the Mashiwala jungle, the Shaheed Singhs come in front of Maharaj. Maharaj says to Shaheed Singhs, ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਮੇਰੇ ਮਿੱਤਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹ ਸੁਨੇਹਾ ਭੇਜੋ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਭਾਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਨੰਦ ਹਾਂ, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਭਾਣੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ, ਆਨੰਦਮਈ ਹਾਂ। ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਭਾਣਾ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਸਭ ਕੁਛ ਹੈ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਹਿਰਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਉਹ ਪਿਆਰ, ਉਹ ਤਰਸ, ਉਹ ਪਿਆਸ ਬਣ ਜਾਏ। ਪੂਰਨ ਹੋਏ ਹਮਾਰੀ ਆਸ, ਇਹ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਆਸ ਬਣ ਜਾਏ। ਤੋਰ ਭਜਨ ਕੀ ਰਹਿ ਪਿਆਸਾ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।